So if you are resisting anything within your experience, it's going to intensify your suffering. So if you have some sort of pain in your body, there's going to be something within you not wanting to feel it. There's going to be something within you trying to get away from it. And that is the suffering. There's the pain, and then there's the, no, I don't want to feel it. And it's that, no, I don't want to feel it, which is the suffering. So if you're experiencing some sort of pain in the body, what you need to learn to do is come closer to the sensation of the pain. Really bring your attention right into the center of it. Because when you give your full attention to something, you're not resisting it anymore. You can't be resisting something that you're fully giving your attention to. And when you're not resisting to it, at least a large chunk, when you're not resisting it, at least a large chunk of the suffering it's causing can fall away. So I'm going to use the example of something that happened recently, which you obviously know about, which was a friend of mine, Lucas, who passed away. And I'm going to give the example of his dad. So his dad's a long-term meditator. He's been doing TM and all sorts of meditation for, I think, over 50 years. And so I'd heard that Lucas had died and sent his dad a little message. So his dad came to see me just a couple of days after he died. And I was out, and I came back to the cafe downstairs and walked through the door and saw his dad. And straight away I give his dad a big hug and said, I'm so sorry. And his dad burst into tears and he said, the last 50 years of my life meditating, the last 50 years being dedicated to spirituality has been my preparation for this. His 20-year-old son had just died, and he said, the last 50 years of my spiritual practice has been preparation for this. And he said, it comes in waves, and I'm meeting the pain within my heart. And he's not turning away from it. And he said, I'm not going with stories in my mind. I'm not going with should this, should that, should this, should that. Obviously, sometimes that's natural, that's going to be happening. But he is surrendering to the pain. And it was so beautiful the way he described it. It's like the pain comes in these waves. And when the wave comes, he doesn't turn away from it. He meets it. He allows it to come, and he allows the tears to come, and he allows the grief to break his heart open. He's meeting grief rawly and purely, allowing it to break him open without taking him into suffering or stories in the mind in the same way that most people would. I'm not going to say he's not suffering, but the way that he was meeting this was just absolutely inspirational. And he said that the grief is love. When he truly feels the wave of it in his heart and allows it to crack his heart open and is really there feeling it in his body, then once it's broken through, he feels this immense love and this connection to Lucas. The connection to Lucas is remaining through his willingness to feel his heart. And that is the beauty of having a solid, real, consistent spiritual practice. That when tragic things happen in your life, they're going to cause you pain. You're not going to be floating around on a cloud, nothing can ever bother you anymore. They're going to cause you pain, but they don't have to cause you suffering in the same way. Because when these things happen, you meet it head on. You will allow it to break you open. You can be deeply broken in your heart, but still be at peace. If there's an openness in your being through having committed your life to spiritual practice, from having committed your life to surrender, when there's that openness in your being, when something tragic comes, you are more likely to have the ability to stay open in your being whilst it's happening. And if you can stay open in your being, even just a bit, whilst there's tragedy happening, then light can pour through the cracks of your pain. And actually, the tragic, difficult, challenging things that happen, when you do have that openness and that willingness to meet it, only bring you deeper into your essence, only bring you deeper into the light that you are. For a lot of people, when a tragic thing happens, it takes them deep into darkness, deep into suffering. But for somebody who's committed their life to spiritual practice, to staying open in the midst of challenging experiences, committed their life to coming out of resistance as best they can, when a tragic thing then happens, when a difficult thing then happens, it opens them, it doesn't close them. That doesn't mean there's not pain, but you can open to a deep state of peace, bliss, and joy in the midst of the pain.